Jalen Milroe, along with Jihad Campbell, they have announced that they are going to the NFL draft. They're leaving the University of Alabama. They will turn pro this year, whatever pro means, right? Because now it feels like college is also a version of pro football. Jalen Milroe going to the NFL is interesting because, yes, he does have all the tools that you could possibly want. He's got an incredible deep ball whenever he's not getting pressured. He's not very good at reading the field when it comes to intermediate routes. But there are some misconceptions about what this means for Alabama, etc. Jalen Milroe was a senior. Now, he could have used another season. He had eligibility for one more year. But he's been there for 4 years, and he's been a starter for, 2 of them. So it is my belief that he did not necessarily have a spot to come back to at Alabama. Kalen DeBoer announced a couple of different times that the offense had to change because of the personnel that they had. And they didn't get to run what they would prefer to run, basically because Jalen Milroe was the quarterback. And of course, some people would look at this and say, well, why didn't they try anybody else when it was obvious that Milroe couldn't handle some of the defenses that he was running into, right? The offense was not really the issue with the Vanderbilt game. Yeah, Milroe turned the ball over a couple of times, but they still put up 30-some-odd points. The problem there was the defense gave up 42 to Vanderbilt. But it was the other games that they lost that were a problem. Oklahoma, at South Carolina, they had problems with. Tennessee, couldn't get anything going in that game. I mean, you're up 7-0 at the half. It's just kind of an issue. Against Michigan, even with backup players for Michigan, Wink Martindale knew that if you pressure Jalen Milroe, especially when the weather ain't great, he is going to do something stupid with the football. And he did it multiple times. He fumbled the football twice. He threw an interception. You get behind the 8 ball, and then you can't do what you want to do. So DeBoer had said multiple times that they weren't running their system. They had to change it up, basically because of Jalen Milroe. And yeah, maybe you should have tried Ty Simpson or something like that. The issue that you ran into is when DeBoer got here, and it was the same thing last year for Nick Saban, Jalen Milroe ran that locker room. The guys on the team played for him, and he's got great leadership qualities. The problem is when your best leader is not that great at the position that he plays, then you run into problems. And if you watch the bowl game, and it was like this in other games as well, but in the bowl game, it was glaringly obvious that the body language from the wide receivers was an issue. Ryan Williams consistently rolling his eyes when Milroe couldn't get him the ball. Jeremy Bernard throwing his hands up multiple times when he is running wide open and Milroe never sees him. You've had 3 wide receivers transfer out. No, 4, Caleb Odom, Jefferson, Prentice, and I'm missing one. But regardless, you've got guys that were transferring out thinking that Milroe was coming back. And Isaiah Bond talked about it last year. He transferred to Texas where he knew that they were going to get him the ball. So it is my belief that Jalen Milroe was told, yo, you can go to the NFL or you can enter the portal, but there's not going to be a spot for you here next year. Like, this job next year is going to be either Keon Russell, who is the freshman phenom that they recruited and brought in, or Ty Simpson, who I believe still has 2 years of eligibility left. So I don't believe, Joey Toons put out a thing yesterday that said Bama cannot pay what some of these other programs do, but I don't believe that that's the issue here. I think it's that they don't want to pay Milroe because he can't do the stuff that DeBoer needs him to do on offense. With the wide receiver body language that was so glaring during that Outback Bowl or whatever it's called, the ReliaQuest Bowl, I think that kind of told you everything you need to know. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.